Let's start with applying milk of magnesia. So I heard about milk of magnesia. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. From people. Basically, that's when a lot of people started using it, and me being me, trying everything, I thought I could try it. So I tried it, and I really liked the way it mattifies, my skin before I apply makeup. So since then I started using it. So I'm gonna start with this one. Okay, let's start the story. So from what you can see from the title, I said I saw dead people, and I literally saw dead people. So let me tell you about that story. Yeah, so from those who don't know, I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So that's ex-Zaire. So I was born when the country was called Zaire, in the 80s. I will not tell you the year. So yeah, so basically I was born in the 80s in Zaire. Yeah, so I'm a Zairoise, not Congolese per se, but now that the country is called Congo, or the DRC, I have to say Congolese. But anyways, so for those who remember about the story of how Zaire came to become the Democratic Republic of Congo. So basically it was because of an invasion. So for years and years and years, the country was at the end of the previous president, the president from Zaire, so Mobutu. So he's been in power for many years before the invasion started. Yeah, and basically the invader, or the person who came to take over the country, basically decided that it was enough. So like, yeah, you've been there for years and years and years, and there's a lot of stories as well of what he did. So a lot of like killings and yeah, and stuff like that. So basically he was a dictator, yeah. So basically someone decided, yeah, your time is up, it's time to go, so yeah, leave the country. So they tried to negotiate for many days. The negotiations happened in South Africa, if I remember correctly, with Mandela, who was to be the judge, but not the judge, but the mediator. So yeah, the negotiations happened there. Yeah, and apparently they didn't come to a understanding. Mobutu didn't want to leave the power, and the invader, Kabila, that's his name, Kabila the father, he didn't want to give up as well. He wanted to take over. So everything just went to shit, and a war started. Anyway, yeah, shit broke loose, and the country went into war. Yeah, so when that happened, so the previous president, packed up his bags and ran away, and unfortunately died in exile. So the new one, who was invading the country, when he came to the capital where I was living in Kinshasa, yeah, so they came, and they obviously they didn't come in peace. There were like, there were shootings going on and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm gonna do my eyebrows using this. I really like this pencil. It's really detailed, and I love the color. So give it a minute. I'm not gonna do it while I'm talking. I'm coming back. Ta-da! So yeah, I don't like doing my eyebrows, on camera, because yeah, it takes too long. But anyways, yeah, so the war started, yeah, and they start coming in. So they started from the east of the country, and they literally crossed the country, the whole country. You know how Zaire or DR Congo it's a really big country, so it took them days to get to the capital. Yeah, so so when we heard that they were coming down, yeah, hold on, I'm looking for my foundation. So basically, you know how I always use this foundation, yeah, Juvia's, like I always use Accra. Yeah, Accra is basically my color, but with with the sun that came out all last week, yeah, I've been tanning in the garden, and I darkened a little bit. So good thing I have multiple foundations with different shades, so I'm gonna try to find the shade that will go with me. I have other Juvia's Place foundations, so give me a minute. So yeah, I've got this shade here, Kampala, and I also have, I usually use I usually mix my Juvia's foundation with my Huda Beauty one, and the Huda Beauty shade that I use is Mocha or Mocha, I don't know how to say it. But today, since I tanned SF the past 2 weeks, I'm gonna use this shade Kampala and this Huda Beauty shade Cocoa. So let's see how it turned out. Okay, so that took a while to get to the capital, yeah, because the country is big, like I said, and that gave us people expecting them time to actually prepare ourselves to when they'll come, because we had no idea. We heard those horrible stories that they were killing on the way, they were killing like soldiers and the resistance and stuff like that, yeah. So we didn't know what to expect when they were gonna arrive. So my dad took precautions and he took measures, yeah. He was just waiting for the right time, the right moment to actually use them. So his plan was to, by the way, this is just one of the many stories of, you know, what happened in the world, and one of the many childhood stories that I remember. So basically this one actually marked me because it was so intense, you see what I mean? But anyway, just listen, yeah. So yeah, my dad already had this plan, yeah. His plan was to send us to my aunt or my uncle that didn't live far from us, because where we lived was right in the beginning of the street, and the street was and basically we had the main road, or how do you call it, yeah, there was a main road when, you know, when the cars would go in and stuff like that, and our street was literally, you know, emerging in the main road. So they were gonna come from that way, and we didn't live far from the airport. It's because we heard that they were gonna take the airport, so we didn't live far from the airport. So they were gonna come this way, and we were living right in the beginning, you see what I mean? We're like number 6. So what my dad decided was to basically send us to my uncle who lived way at the back, yeah. No, like, you know, the area we were living was a small area, yeah, but we had family members who lived around us as well. So my dad decided to send us way at the back here, where it would take, you know, the invasion a long time to get to, yeah. So basically that's what happened. So we were just getting prepared for the invasion. Hold on, let me just, you know, apply this. It's too light. Don't worry guys, this is the light as well. The light is making my face looking really light, but this is actually the right shade. Yeah, it is actually. Okay, now I'm gonna use this powder, the Yves Saint Laurent powder. What's the name again? Soufflé d'éclat. Anyways, so yeah, so my dad took those measures, you know, to protect us so that we could be safe, because like I said, we didn't expect how it was gonna turn out. They said that it was coming in peace, but we were hearing how they were killing people and stuff like that. So we just like, you know what, my dad was like, you know what, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna wait here to see what's gonna happen, so I'm just gonna like try this. Yeah, so the day they arrive, yeah, so the day they arrived, we were still at home, yeah, but we start hearing shots from way far, yeah. We already started hearing shots, yeah, and my dad was like, all right, this is the time for you to start going to your uncle's. So when we start getting ready to leave, the shots stopped. Yeah, that's what I remember. I'll ask my sister, my brother, those who remember. Yeah, I'll ask them again if it actually went that way. But this is how I remember. Yeah. So when we heard when the shots stopped, yeah, my dad was like, "All right, this is the time for you to start walking." So there was me. There was there was me, there was my two sisters, and there was my brother. So we start, and my aunt was the one who was going with us. So my aunt was the only woman, she was the only female in the house at that time, because my mom traveled at that time. She wasn't there, she went away, she traveled with my little brother when all this happened. So I bet she was really anxious. And yeah, so my aunt was one of the only female in the house, because we used to live with my aunt and uncles. So she was one of the female in the house. So the logic my dad had was to basically was for the men to stay at home to protect the house and protect the belongings and everything else, and the women, the children, to be sent away to safety. So yeah, they were going to stay behind. So basically that's what happened. So we got ready to leave. By the way, this is Givia's concealer, and I always use number 20 and number 12. So number 12 is my color. So yeah, so we got ready to leave, and we were just walking. It wasn't just us, it was like a whole lot of people working with us. So everyone was just moving from the beginning of the street, or from the front to the back. So that's what we did. So we were going barefoot because there was no cars, no one was driving. It was basically like, yeah, everyone was on foot. So we were going by foot, yeah. So this is when shit happened. So I'm laughing, but it wasn't funny at that time. It was actually terrifying. So we start walking, and we start hearing shots at the back. So everyone who was like walking with us, we all turned around to look what was happening at the back, and we start seeing people running. So obviously, black people being black people, we don't wait to ask for explanations or what is happening. We all started running. It was crazy. So my aunt took my little sister. My aunt took my little sister's hand, and we all started running. Listen, when I'm telling you that, oh dear, oh god, when I'm telling you that period was mad, it was actually mad. So basically, what happened? So there was still resistance, yeah, who was there in the area. So they start fighting back, because obviously they didn't want to be invaded. No one likes to be invaded. So they start fighting back. So the rebellion, the people, you know, the invaders, start shooting as well. Obviously, we heard shots, so we start running. So when we start running, yeah, we came across, not far from where we live, there's another family, yeah. We were from the same tribe. I'm from a tribe called the Tetela tribe, yeah. And there were another family, there were a few families from the same tribe, yeah, that my parents knew. Obviously, the Tetelas, like, when you from the same tribe, you like, it's like you're from the same family. So they were friends of the family. So when we start running, we saw them at the door, because they were like, obviously they were curious, they were seeing all these people running, yeah. We saw them at the door. We didn't even think. My aunt started shouting, let's go there, let's go there. So basically me, my sisters and my brother, and my aunt, we just barged into their house. Literally pushed the door, we barged into the house, and it wasn't just us, it was other people as well. People were looking for safety. So we just went into the house, and obviously they recognized us. I don't think they cared, to be honest. I don't think they care if they knew the people. Yeah, so basically I don't think they cared who was coming to the house. They just wanted to help people. You see what I mean? They just want to help people and make sure that no one was injured. So whoever came with us, just let them in. So we went in, and we went into the living room. So we went into the living room to hide, and we all hid under the tables and under the furniture, you know what I mean, just to escape any bullet. You know, sometimes you have those bullets just go everywhere and just, like, you know, kill you unexpectedly. So that's what we were trying to avoid, because one of my uncles died that way. There was some things going on, and some things going on, and one of those, like, you know, one of those lost bullets just hit him, and that's how he died. So yeah, so that's what we were trying to avoid. So we're all hiding underneath the furnitures and everything. Okay, now I'm gonna use my bronzer. It's like, you know, the Fenty Beauty one. I use Coconutty. I'm sure you've seen it from my other videos. But anyways, yeah, we all hid under the tables and under the furnitures. Any furniture that you can find, we all hid underneath it. And the thing is, from the living room, we could see what was happening outside, because the windows were open. Not the windows, but the curtains were open, so we could actually see, you know, how the soldiers were proceeding, how the soldiers were walking, and how everything was going on outside. The thing with me, I was so curious. I wanted to come out the table, come out underneath the table, and see everything that was happening. Well, my sister was shitting his pants. Oh God, I hope she doesn't see that. She knows who the sister. Basically, she knows who she is. But anyways, my sister was literally shit in the pants. Yeah, she was scared. She was terrified. Me, I was seeing that as an adventure. Me being the adventurer that I am, I was seeing that as an adventure. I just wanted to see what was happening, because everyone, you know, the older people, like, you know, the older brothers and sisters, you know, were the only one that were allowed to come out and actually see what's going on. So yeah, that's what happened. So we came out a little later to see, you know, to see what was happening. And yeah, so basically the invaders, or the rebels, the rebels, like, killed everyone else, killed the resistance, and basically they were just making their way. The good thing is they weren't killing, you know, the population. They weren't killing us. They were only killing the resistance. So So yeah, but we weren't allowed we weren't allowed to leave straight away, so I mean, because we still didn't know if that was gonna happen again, if another fight was gonna break. So my mom's friend told us to stay and not to leave yet. But the thing is, yeah, we couldn't get in touch with our dad, we couldn't get in touch with our uncles, so they were in panic, yeah, especially my dad. My dad was really worried because he didn't know what happened. They stayed home, they saw us leave, and then the fight started, and then the, you know, and then the bullets and everything started shooting. So my dad was really worried. He didn't know what happened to us, he didn't know if it was safe or not. I'm telling you guys, it was mad. It was actually mad. That was one of the first time ever that I experienced something so close, you know, it's something so close to death that I actually experienced hearing, you know, hearing shots and bullets going all over the place. So close. It was mad. It was actually mad. Okay guys, I just finished using my setting powder. So this is what I use. I use the Sasha Buttercup setting powder. It's been years since since I'm using it now, and I love it. I love the way it just sets and basically just, you know, highlight just, you know, this area, my T-zone and everything, and it works perfectly for me. But anyways, so that happened. Oh, hold on. This is what I'm gonna use, guys. Today I'm gonna use this Juvia's Place palette. The colors are amazing, beautiful. Look at that. Look at these colors. Summer colors. Yeah, this is perfect for summer. I know the sun isn't out, I know it's raining, but like, yeah, I just felt like using, like, it's like you can see, it's untouched. I haven't touched it yet because it's completely new. So these are the colors that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use this, and this, I think. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so we stayed there. So basically, I think we got to the house, I think we left the house early, like 11 o'clock or something. And yeah, we left at 11. Yeah, so I think we left the house at 11 o'clock. And that's when the fight broke. That's when we started hearing bullets and everything when we're walking, and we stayed at my mom's friends on, or you know, family's friends' place until like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So imagine all that time. My dad couldn't get hold of us. He didn't know what was happening. He didn't know if we were safe or not. So it was just going out of his mind. Like, he was panicking. From what I've heard, he was panicking. It was like proper, like, he was so terrified that something happened to us. So yeah, when we saw that the coast was clear, and that we could get out, we decided to go back home. And then we just started walking really, you know, really slowly and carefully, so that I wouldn't, so that, you know, so that we wouldn't be in that situation again. But thank God the distance between my parents' friend's house and our house was really short, so it was only like 10 minutes. So my dad was waiting right at the door, and when he saw us, oh my God, you could see the relief in his face. My dad was actually so relieved to see us. But obviously, you know, being an African dad, it's not gonna proper show. It's not gonna come and run into you and hug you, and it's just start laughing. It was like, you know, it's just joking around, because my dad is like that. He loves joking. he just started joking around, saying, "Oh, you see what happened? Oh wow, so did you run?" Ah, no, no, no. He just started laughing, but you could see from his his body language that yeah, this guy went from hell, man. Because there was four of us. I bet he was thinking, what am I gonna tell my wife? Because she's not here, what am I gonna tell her? I bet that's what he was thinking. But yeah, that's what happened. Guys, that day was mad. That day was crazy. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It was like I said, I'm an adventurer, you see what I mean? I'm a curious person, stuff like that. Actually, get my blood pumping, and I was really active when I was a kid as well. I love anything that included, physical activities like sport, like climbing trees and stuff like that, and dancing, jumping. I was full of energy when I was a kid. So yeah, when that happened, it was more a curiosity from me, I just wanted, it was fascinating. It was actually fascinating. I was full of adrenaline. It was crazy. Anyways, guys, that was the first story. Yeah. That was the first story. At that point, I haven't seen dead people yet. Oh, fuck's sake. So yes, guys, at that point I haven't seen dead people yet. The dead people story is coming up. So yeah, so that night was really crazy, like I said. Not just for me, not just for my aunt and my brother, sister. It was also crazy for my dad and my uncles, everyone that stayed home behind. And actually it was not just my uncle, it was my cousins. Yeah, I had one of my cousins who was staying with us as well. So yeah, it was a crazy experience. It was a crazy experience. If you've never experienced war, you are being in the middle of a shootout, you would never know what I'm talking about. So I've lived it, I've seen it, guys, and it was mad. It was crazy. Yeah, so that was my first experience of being in a shootout. So let me tell you my experience of actually seeing dead people. Okay, guys, I'm using this color here now. I've already used these two, so now I'm using this. Yeah. So second part of my story. A few days have passed, and my dad was still, he still wanted to send us in a safe place, because like I said, we live in an area that was, easy to invade, and that was close to the airport. And so we had my other aunt on my dad. So the uncle where we were supposed to go to was from my dad's side, was like a cousin or something. So, but we have another aunt who lived in another area, but that was a little bit far. So since my dad couldn't drive again, we had to walk. So the distance between our house and my aunt's house, I can say is between I can say it's between Brixton and probably Green Park, I think. So it was a long walk. So that day we start going really early. So we had to leave really early. My dad was adamant, just in case it happened again. So again, it was me, my aunt, so we were sending children and the female to safety again. So it was me, my aunt, and my brother and sisters. So we start walking, and to basically leave where we lived, yeah, it was on a high road, and there was some kind of bridge that we had to cross, and underneath that bridge there was a small river that was going, if I remember correctly. And mind you, at that time I think I was like 11, yeah, 12 or 11, what? 11, yeah, 11, 12, no, between 11 and 13, if I remember correctly. It was back in the 90s, early 90s when it happened. So we were walking. we start working with everyone else again. There was a sea of people living where, you know, leaving the houses to go to safety. Some of them were going to the, you know, to the center of the capital, obviously to the city center. But my aunt was living like I think in the west side. I don't know, like the geographical, you know, divisions that we have here and that we have in Congo is like completely different. So I can't really pinpoint exactly, you know, what was where. But for those who know, this is for my Congolese people. We lived in the area called Masina, and my aunt lived in Limba. So that was the distance basically. So we had to walk the distance between Masina and Limba, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the distance between Brixton and Green Park or Victoria or something. Alright guys, I, you know, just blend it a little bit. Now I'm gonna use this here. Okay, back to the story. So yeah, that was the distance. And when we start walking, yeah, this is when I saw dead people. When we start walking, we passed the bridge and we were walking alongside, you know, alongside the you know, what people walk, basically the sidewalk. We're walking on the sidewalk, yeah, away from the main road, even though there were like no cars. So while we were walking there, I started noticing bags around the road. So for me, there were bags, yeah. I started noticing bags. Again, like I said, I'm really curious. I was a really curious child and not always listening. I started going toward. I wanted to see what those bags were about. Guys, when I got close to them, I looked down and I saw a face. So that was my first body, the first ever body that I've ever seen. I looked at it and I saw a body. Oh my god, I was like, oh my god, it's a body. And I started telling my aunt, Tantin, tala, bakufi. And my aunt, she pushed me toward her. She pulled me toward her and told me to stay on the road, you know, stay on course and not to look at them. But I was so curious. Since it was my first time seeing a body, I was so curious. I was like, oh wow, I was actually fascinated. You know, so, oh shit, it's a body. So yeah guys, this was my first time seeing a body. But it wasn't just one body, it was a full of bodies along the sidewalk. And I don't think it was just I don't think it was just the resistance. I think it was, you know, it was mixed with other people as well, like people like me, like population. They were just along the sidewalk. It was mad. Like I said, if you've never experienced war and if you've never seen bodies before, like, you wouldn't understand. That feeling was just weird. It was just weird. But anyways, let me put this on my eyeliner and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, I put my eyeliner on and I also used that time to put my eyelashes on as well. So I'm using the Huda Beauty eyelashes, Hoodie 23. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. And I also use the Huda lash glue. I swear by this glue, is amazing. You actually don't have to leave it out for like 30 seconds or something. You can just put it on straight away and it's amazing. It actually sticks. Anyways, where was I? So yeah, so that was the first time I saw dead people. And like I said, it's an experience that you could never ever forget. Anyway, we continue walking after that little, morbid phase. So we continued walking, yeah, and at one point we came across a roadblock. So there were like there were military stations somewhere around the road where they were checking people. So I don't know who they were checking. I think they were checking foreigners or something. I think at that time they were looking for people from Rwanda and Burundi, because we were also in conflict with them. I think we still are in conflict with people from Rwanda, not people that for the government from Rwanda and Burundi. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on at that time, and basically if you were a Rwandese or someone from Burundi in Congo, you were not safe. So we were walking, yeah. God, it was so weird. We were walking, we came to the roadblock, yeah, and when it came to our turn to be checked, yeah, they stopped me and my sister, my older sister. They start saying that me and my sister are Rwandese, are people from Rwanda, that we're not Congolese, and they just wanted to, they were gonna arrest us. Oh my god, guys, when I tell you that I thought my life was over at that point, I thought that, yeah, that's it, they're gonna arrest me, there was also a lot of rape going on, they were raping a lot of women as well, all those like wars, there's always stuff like that. So I started panicking, I started getting scared. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna rape me, they're gonna kill me, and I was shitting in my pants. I'm not even putting this lightly. I'm telling you, I was terrified. I was so scared that what I was hearing, what we were hearing that was happening in the east of the country was gonna happen to us. So basically, they based the conclusion of me and my sister being from Rwanda or Burundi by saying that we didn't have any ankles. So apparently people from Rwanda or Burundi don't have ankles. Anyways, so they said that we didn't have ankles. People from Rwanda and Burundi don't have ankles. You don't have ankles. Stuff like, it was just some stupid reason. And then my sister was really confused. What do you mean we don't have ankles? We have ankles. No, you don't have ankles. Look at your feet. No. I don't know if they were just looking for a reason to take us and to do whatever they wanted with us, or what. Because me and my sister, we were really skinny and tall at that time as well, and people from Rwanda and Burundi, especially in Rwanda, they're like tall and skinny as well. So we're tall, skinny, and apparently we didn't have any ankles. So therefore we're from that country. Oh my god, my aunt still started panicking, and thank god my aunt was there. My aunt came to our rescue. She was like, no, they're not from Rwanda, Burundi, they're Congolese. They were born and raised here in Kinshasa. They're not from the country. So no offense to my people from Rwanda and Burundi, no offense, but yeah, my aunt was just trying to explain to the police that yeah, we're not from there. Anyway, after my aunt explained to them, she managed to convince them that we were Congolese and we were not from Rwanda or Burundi, and we were no trouble. They let us pass. So we continued walking. It was one of the longest walks I've ever had in my life. Like, it was crazy. One of the longest walks ever. So we got to my aunt, and we stayed there for a few weeks, I think. Yeah, we stayed there for a few weeks for, just waiting for things to settle down. But at that period, there was zero electricity, zero water. So what we had to do, we basically had to one second. So I'm gonna use this eyeliner again, Huda Beauty. They have like the products are really good as well. I love Huda. I love Huda. Right now my favorite product is Huda Beauty and Juicy Bliss. That's basically what I use. Anyways, there was no electricity, there was no water, so what we had to do, we had to actually go fetch water. So again, from where my aunt was living to where the water is was actually pretty far, so we had to go fetch water. And you know, like African, when they fetch water, sometimes the woman, they can, not just the woman, like we carry the water in a basin or in a in a pot or something, and we carry on our head. And you have to be pretty balanced to carry that. A full basin or a full pot of water, full basically, you have to carry it without shaking. Guys, the first time I tried it, yeah, my head was shaking like left to right. You know, I remember it now, and now I'm laughing because it was actually funny. It was actually funny. I actually don't blame people laughing at me because I looked fucking ridiculous. Anyways, now I'm gonna use, I'm not sure, I'm thinking about purple or green to use underneath my eyes here. What do you think, guys? I think I'm gonna use green. Okay, I'm gonna use green. But anyways, so yeah, my first time, like I said, was a disaster. All the water that I have fetched that day, sorry guys, I got caught because, like I said this in the beginning, I'm using a new camera, so bear with me. It's gonna be cutting for some reason. It's saying something is full, so I don't know. Anyways, so coming back to the water, yeah. So basically, everyone was successful to fetch a full basin of water from the river, from the well, all the way back home, yeah. But me, boy, I was shaking all the way. Man, so you know when you put the weight of having a full basin, yeah, of water in your head, kind of like it just, you know, it just doesn't, if you're not balanced enough, if you don't know how to balance your head, yeah, like it's gonna be shaking uncontrollably. So that's what happened with my basin. Like my head was shaking. I was like this, like it was going left, right. So every time I was going left and right, yeah, water was spilling. So I was the only one who came from the well or the river with full basin, and by the time I arrived home, it wasn't even half of it because all the water spilled. It was so funny. It was actually funny. At that time, it was really frustrating for me because I was the only one who didn't bring a full basin back home, but everyone was laughing at me, like everyone. Okay. Yeah, everyone was laughing at me. It was it was actually embarrassing. Alright guys, last touch for the eye makeup. I am going to apply this just the corner of my eyes. So yeah, so basically, yes guys, these are the story that I have from a very long time ago. I don't know, I just sat one time in the living room, like last week. I sat in the living room and I just thought about that story and how unbelievable it was. You know what I mean? How unbelievable and funny. I remember that, oh shit, I have seen dead people when I was a kid, when I wasn't supposed to see, but it happened. I saw them because that's what war does to you. It makes you see shit that you'd rather forget. But those are the things that that actually shape you and that actually make you value life, because you've seen people die and you are still alive. You see what I mean? And that also makes you grateful to God to actually have kept you alive during that time, because a lot of people died, guys. I told you, I've seen a lot of people, like, just from that sidewalk. So imagine, I only saw that sidewalk, so imagine how many people died all from the airport to where my house used to be. You see what I mean? Because I said, like, we used to live close to the airport, and yeah, it was quite a distance. So I just said there, I just thought, like, wow, I only saw a fraction of it. You see what I mean? So imagine the trail of dead people that the soldiers left from the east of the country. Again, like I told you, Congo is a big country. It's the third biggest country in Africa. So to cross that country would take days and weeks and maybe months. So actually, not maybe, months. Yeah, it would take months. So I just imagine, yeah, how many people the soldiers have left, you know, in the trail. And I only got to see the half of it. So this video is also to bring awareness of what's happening in my country, because the war isn't over. It's still going on, and there are still people dying by thousands every day. Women getting raped, children being killed in the worst way imaginable. Is actually crazy. There are millions of people that have been killed since that invasion. So yeah, it was also a way to bring awareness to the war that is happening in my country, and to let you know that war is ugly. I'm sure you know that. But from someone who have witnessed it and who have seen it, have lived it, ducked bullets, it's very ugly. So people were born here. You know, the Congolese people were born here and grew up here. Are you really privileged? You're lucky that you haven't seen that. You are actually very lucky that you haven't seen what I have seen, because that was mad. Be grateful, people. Be grateful every day for the breath that you take in, for your lives, because there are a lot of people who wish to be at your place right now, who wish to have your life. So be grateful and thank God every day. Honestly, that's all I can say. Thank God every day to still be alive. I'm using this NARS as my blush. I love the color. Look at the color. So pink. It's like pink with like glittering gold in it, as you can see. I was expecting it to just be pink, but there's like some glitter in it. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna use this as my highlighter MAC. I've been using this for years now. I've stuck to it. I haven't changed it. Look how it looks now. I broke it, you know, just like scattered into pieces. Shit. But I still use it. It's a good product. Proper highlight. Let's see. Look at that. Look, one stroke. It's already shining. Love it. But anyway, this is the first time that I told this story. I think in public. I only told this like to like close people, close to my friend, I think. But yeah, this is one of the first time that I actually tell this story. You know, just to show you that where I come from and what I've seen, my journey from my country to here. So yeah, it's not that I've lived in, you know, I've lived my life has been like this all my life or all my childhood. No, this is just a short, you know, short period in my life, in my childhood, where I've actually experienced this. I'm gonna use this for my nose here to highlight it a little bit, and here on my lips. But anyways, and this is Fenty Beauty. I'll add all those products in the description like I always do, so please read the description. I know a lot of people don't read descriptions because sometimes it can be really long and like, oh, it's so long, I don't want to read it. But yeah, if you're interested in all the products that I'm using, use the description. Anyways, so yeah guys, that's where I'm from. That is me, my little story on on the, yeah, a little childhood story that I wanted to share with you. Yeah. And I use this again, Fenty Beauty. Actually, there's Fenty Beauty, Huda Beauty, and Juvia's Place. Those are the main products that I always use. I forgot to say Fenty. Yeah, Fenty has really good products as well. So this is what I've been using. So let me do my hair and come back to you. Done. For today, I would try and go pixie. Do you like? Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Fenty NC. I'm really happy for you to be here today again to watch my content and yeah, just to occupy yourself with me. So today I'm gonna be doing things a little bit different. Today it is story time. That's right, as you can see from my title, I'm gonna tell you about a story that happened in my childhood. I'm gonna tell you about a story that happened in my childhood when I was a little kid. Not a little kid, but in my like when I think I was like 10 or 12 or 13. I forgot. but yeah, it happened in my childhood, and it's an interesting story actually, and I wanted to share with you just a little story, you know, while I'm applying my makeup. This is the first time that I'm doing this, applying my makeup and talking at the same time, so bear with me if you know, I'm a little all over the place. I will try to keep up, I will try to combine the two and balance the two, but yeah, bear with me, I will try my best. So yeah, today I'm gonna be doing this look for you guys with my Juvia's Place palette, this one here. I have a few palettes that I bought. If you have watched my last video, I've actually showed them, and today I was bored. I was bored, and I thought, you know what, since I have time in my hands, why not shoot another video? So yeah, so I'm gonna be applying that, and obviously I'm gonna be applying all my other products and tell you the story. So stick with me, don't go anywhere. It's gonna be funny, it's gonna be interesting, it's gonna be weird, but just stay with me, listen, and yeah, that's it really. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you stay safe, I hope you stay in your houses, and I hope you enjoy your quarantine. So yeah, try to occupy yourself, try to do something, or else you will just go mad. So yeah, let's just yeah, watch me in the meantime until you get out of the house, until you go and do your business. So yeah, spare some time with me and watch this new video for you. Okay guys, thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for keeping up with me, keeping up with Nancy Explore, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you for keeping up with me, thank you for staying with me, and yeah, let's go start with the story and the makeup. See you later, bye.